Hey, I say we start early. Don't you think? I lost some time yesterday, so I'm excited to start a little early. Thank you so much for being here. We could totally throw a football in this room. See, I brought my football again today, and I had it downstairs at the autograph session, and I thought, I wonder if we could throw it during the panel again. And my wonderful helper said, "Oh, we're not in the same room." I was like, "Oh, okay," because I knew that room yesterday was pretty fun. But we could totally do it in here. We could hurt somebody. Probably take out a few of those lights. We could, do some serious damage. How are you? I'm very happy you're here. Are you having a good day? Excellent. There she is. Hi, Sherry. I'm so happy. I'm just so happy. I'm overflowing with gratitude. We've got until about 1:45. So before I forget, let me, I'm not gonna stand up there, if that's okay. I'm not gonna sit behind the table. I just hang around with you guys. If you have a question, I go, and that's the way we'll do it. But, oh, you're the first one. For those of you that got dragged into the room, and you're like, who's the guy with the puffy hair? Like, what's up? My name is Vic Mignogna. My mom still can't pronounce that name right. A lot of people don't get it right, but it's Italian. So there's G's in the middle there. You just ignore those. Like lasagna, Bologna, Mignonia. But just call me Vic. That's fine. We're friends, right? First name basis. What's your name?
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo. All right, Lorenzo. We're tight now. What's your last name?
Robles.
Say again?
Robles.
Robles. Can we trade? From now on, you guys, I'd like to introduce you to my friend Lorenzo Mignogna. And I'll be Vic Robles from now on. So, for those of you that are unfamiliar with my work, where have you been? I'm the old guy. I'm the old one here. I never thought I would say that. But I've been in the anime industry for 20 years now, or 19. Close, somewhere in there. When you get old, it just kind of all blurs together. But I've done over 300 different animated series and video games, and never expected to do it. I've been acting since I was very young. A lot of you guys do a lot of theater and maybe plays at your school or community stuff or singing or performing. But I never imagined that I would ever do any voice acting work. Now what's really funny is that when I was a little kid, I loved anime. I just didn't know it was anime. Like when I was a kid, I watched Speed Racer all the time. And my friend Wayne and I, we would run around and we would try to imitate the characters on Speed Racer. I didn't even know it was from Japan. I just knew it was weird. You know what I mean? In a good way. Like it didn't look like Scooby-Doo. It didn't sound like Bugs Bunny, but I liked it. I just didn't know why it was different. So I've loved it for a long time, but I never imagined I would ever do it. And then about 20 years ago, I was working, it's Natsu, everybody duck. Not you, Natsu! I'm coming for you. I tease every Natsu. It's a thing. It's a religious thing for me. But I was working in Houston, Texas, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, you've got a lot of acting experience, don't you? You should go and audition for this little place in Houston, downtown. They're called ADV Films, and they buy these Japanese animated shows and they dub them into English. And they're looking for actors." And I was like, "You mean like Speed Racer?" Like, yeah. So I went down, I auditioned, and the first thing I ever did was Vega in Street Fighter 2. You guys remember him? With the claw and the matador guy? But I figured it was just kind of a one-time thing. I thought, well, that was a weird little, You know what I mean, Lorenzo? Like a weird kind of a, Mr. Mignogna, may I call you Lorenzo? You know, I was like, oh, that was a weird thing. You know, like somebody says, here, do this one thing, one time, you know, that was a fun little escape from my normal everyday life. And then I just went back to, I was writing music. Actually, I was doing a lot of music work professionally and production work. And then, you look awesome. Let's just pause for this brief commercial break and talk about how awesome you look. Stand up, please. Sharon's really ready. Yeah, turn around. Woo! Okay, this is my fantasy. Come up here, brother. I'm taller than you now, so suck it. You look amazing. Amazing. This must be hard to get up and down, because I have to tell you, he was sitting here, and I went, get up, and from inside the suit I heard, oh God. oh God. What is your name? Cameron. Cameron is killing it, am I right? Cameron, can I ask you a cosplay question? I have a theory. If I had a penny, not a nickel, just a penny, for every cosplayer who spent a year making the most awesome cosplay, and then they finally put it on and went to a convention, and within about 7 minutes they're like, I effing hate my life. And you see them all day long carrying pieces of their cosplay because, like, they didn't think about how hard or heavy or constricting or it would hurt somewhere. They didn't realize, they didn't think about that when they decided this would be the coolest cosplay ever. Is that your case? I just want to say, because it's lightweight, you made it out of something very lightweight. It looks amazing. The weathering and the distressing is fantastic. How are you feeling in there? Hot. Well, a lot of people out here think you're hot too. Thank you, man. Give it up for him. 20 minutes later, he finally sits down. You know, if anyone asks you to do a line from Full Metal, ask them if they want you to be the original Alphonse or today's Alphonse. Because if they want to do the original Alphonse, Aaron Dismuke, you go, brother! And if they want today's Alphonse, you go, brother! Because poor Aaron, not poor Aaron, he's awesome. But when he hit puberty, man, his voice dropped and suddenly it was like terrifying. He's like 6'3" or something now. He's tall, great kid. But it's always funny to hear him when I see him at the studio now. Because, you know, I mean, I love him. Like I'm an only child. So he was the brother I never had. And he was actually 13, like 12 and 13 when we recorded that show. So I would see him and we would do conventions together for Full Metal, and like, he was this great little kid, and I'm like, man, I've got a brother. This is so great. And so to watch him grow up, and now he's directing and doing all kinds of stuff at Funimation, but when his voice changed, I'm like, oh, I've lost my brother. I'm frickin' 50 years old and I still sound like a teenager. My brother sounds like my dad. And my dad's a jerk! Hohenheim, not my dad. Oh, but he is too. Anyway, where was I? Now we're back from our commercial break. So I went back to writing music and doing production work, and then ADV called and said, hey, we have another show. Do you want to come and do another voice? And I was like, okay. I figured I'd only get to do one little weird thing, but sure. So I went back, I don't even remember what the show was, but I went back and did another show, and then they got another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. And then somebody invited me to an anime convention. And my first thought was, wait a minute, they have conventions for this stuff? I mean, when I was a kid, I went to Star Trek conventions, and I dressed up in my Jedi robes and went to Star Wars conventions, right? But I didn't know there were anime conventions. So I was pretty jazzed, and I went to this convention, and my first one was in Columbus, Ohio. It was frickin' 15 degrees below zero. It was January in Columbus, Ohio. It was so cold, but I went and I was completely overwhelmed by the wonderful people, the sense of family, the sense of being surrounded by people that love the things you love. Isn't that a great feeling, you guys? Have you ever, any of you just walk, as you're walking down the halls of this convention and seeing all these people, oh, you dressed like that guy, oh, I love that show. Have you ever kind of had a quick out-of-body moment where you go, this is flippin' awesome. I am surrounded by people who love what I love. 362 days out of the year, I'm the weird one, right? Right? I'm the odd man out who people may tease because I have all this anime stuff, or I, have cool, awesome colored hair, or any of a number, or my bags, or whatever, my sweatshirt at school. Right now, for these 3 days, I am the norm. I am in the group and surrounded by people who love all the same things I love. That's what I love about this community. That's what I love about anime. And it's honestly not even that way in a lot of other fandoms. Believe me, I've been there. And there's something very special about this community. So I went to this anime convention in Columbus, and I was blown away by it. I think, oh my gosh, that's a wall scroll with the character that I did. They make wall scrolls? And they're like, oh, that's an action figure! I did that! That was my guy! I was so excited. Picture board! Costume, this guy's dressed! You're dressed up like my character. I was so just overjoyed to discover this world of anime and anime cons. And it kept growing, more and more anime kept growing. And then I met some people from Funimation. Now I was in Houston, right? And Funimation is in Dallas, about 4 hours north. And some guys were there from Funimation, and they said, hey, you want to come up to Dallas and be in Dragon Ball Z? Yeah. And I was like, yeah. What's Dragon Ball Z? I didn't know. And so they cast me to play Broly. I can't say his name without holding my throat and just lamenting the flesh that I have left on the floor. Nope, never. Nope. I will not bow to your peer pressure, sir. Kakarot. But, so then I started doing more, so then after that I did Yu Yu Hakusho with Funimation. And, you guys remember Yu Yu Hakusho? I played Bui and Yuri Urishima and a couple other characters. And then, what was the name of that show? Oh, Case Closed. And several other shows. And then Funimation got the license for Full Metal Alchemist. And so I just kind of lucked out. I mean, I really did. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And I happened to have spent my life acting and performing and singing and anything I could do. So when the door opened, I was fortunate enough to have spent the time working on these skills and was able to get involved. It has grown so big now, right? I mean, it's just enormous. But it is such a pleasure. I never imagined, 15, 17, 18 years ago, that I would still be getting to do this kind of thing, and especially getting to meet you guys and interact with you. It's my favorite thing in the world. I must tell you, it's the truth. So thank you. Happy New Year to you guys. Thank you. 2018 is going to be an awesome year. I can feel it. So, what else? So I've been working on a lot of shows. You guys, I just got done directing an anime series, and I want you to check it out. Check it out. Lorenzo says check it out. You don't want to cross Lorenzo, trust me. He looks friendly. You watch. Look at that smile. He's like, I wouldn't hurt anybody, man. It's called Junie Tyson. You know about it? You're my new favorite person. Lorenzo, I'm sorry. But Junie Tyson is the name of the series. It's an awesome 12-episode anime series. Really cool. I literally was living in Dallas for the last 3 months directing this show. And I cast some of my favorite people in it. Caitlin Glass. See, when you're a director, you get to do cool stuff like cast people. So I cast Caitlin, and I cast Colleen Clinkenbeard, and Chuck Huber, and Ian Sinclair, and a lot of great, great people. So check it out, please. Junie Tyson, 12 episodes, you'll love it. I also just finished my web series. You guys know about my web series? Star Trek Continues. Check it out. We have created 11 full-length episodes. And when I mean full-length, I mean like not just time, but like the degree of production value. We rebuilt the entire soundstage from the original series of Star Trek. And Chuck's in it, Todd's in it, Grant Imahara from Mythbusters. You guys watch Mythbusters? We've got a lot of great guest stars. Lovely Elizabeth Maxwell, who is in RWBY with me. She was a guest star in the episode that we're screening here tomorrow. So for those of you that are here tomorrow, what time? Noon? I love that guy. You're out. You're my new best friend. Noon tomorrow. In what? Do we know what room?
I think it's in here.
My room? My personal hotel room? All right, we can seat 5 of you. Where is this? Is it main event?
I think it's here, yeah.
Is it in this room? That'd be cool. Okay, so I would love for you to be there. Consider yourselves personally invited. It's a great series, classic Star Trek, good stuff, and I would love for you to see it. And the best part about it is you can watch all the episodes for free at StarTrekContinues.com. 11 full-length episodes. For those of you that were in the panel yesterday, I don't want to repeat myself too much, but for those of you that are here today for the first time, like you, oh, did you get an armband? Did you get wrist? You got one. Oh, do we have them? Oh, we're going to give them away at the autograph session, aren't we? Yes. Where is my sweet girl, Sharon? This awesome girl right here, that guy on your t-shirt is ugly as all get out. I don't even know who that is, but give me a Sharpie. But she made these amazing wristbands that say Star Trek Continues. She made some for like everybody. So I'm gonna have them at the autograph session right after this Q&A. We don't talk about Todd. You know I love you, and Todd. But we're gonna give them out there. But they're so awesome, and she made them, and I love her. Thank you for that. But you guys check it out online, and even if you don't like Star Trek, your parents probably do. You know, your uncle, or your school teacher, or your neighbor. So check it out. It's all free. This production was made for one reason alone, and that was my childhood love for Star Trek. When I was 12 years old, I would slit your throat if you tried to take my Star Trek collection away from me. I was obsessed. I drove my mother insane. She used to call it Star Trash. I know, right? What'd you say? Wait, what? That's what I'm talking about, bro! Oh, no, you didn't! Hey, you know what? Let's call my mom right now. Let's go see if we can get her on the phone. Let's say, Mom, you scarred me for life. I'm gonna have you repeat that for my mom, okay? Oh, please answer the phone, Mother, please. Hello, Mom. How are you? Well, I'm wondering. Hold on a second. I'm in a room with a lot of people. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, Mother.
I just got dug out of 12 inches of snow. Cars finally got me back now.
Oh my goodness. Well, what I'm about to tell you will make everything better. I just told this audience that I was so obsessed with Star Trek when I was a little boy, and that I drove you insane with how much I loved Star Trek, and that you used to call it Star Trash.
That's right, Star Trek.
And I have a gentleman here, and this was his organic, instinctive response when I told him that my mom called it Star Trash.
Oh, hell no!
Say again?
I said they didn't believe I called it Star Trash?
Oh no, they believed it, and this guy said, oh hell no! Well, I love you, Mom. I'll talk to you later. So the moral of the story is check out Star Trek Continues. That's the takeaway from that story. StarTrekContinues.com. Now, for those of you that don't know, real quick, before I leave Star Trek, and I never really leave Star Trek, the original series of Star Trek, for those of you that don't know, back in the late 60s, was on for 3 television seasons. And then it was canceled. And there was like really no notice. There was no, like, there's going to be an ending and we're going to wrap it up and have a finale. They just canceled it. And the problem with that was that Captain Kirk, at the beginning of every episode, used to say, if you remember, these are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. It's 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man's gone before. But it was a 5-year mission. They didn't have 5 years. They were canceled. And the next time you look amazing, by the way. The next time you saw any of these characters, the next time you saw quit clowning around. The next time you saw any of the Star Trek characters was 10 years later. And Captain Kirk was no longer the captain of the Enterprise. He'd taken a desk job as an admiral at Starfleet, and Spock had gone back to Vulcan, and Dr. McCoy had quit the service altogether. Everybody had gone their separate ways. Even the Enterprise itself had been rebuilt. So a lot had changed in 10 years. So my thinking was, wouldn't it be cool to finish the 5-year mission? Wouldn't it be cool to pick up right where the original series was canceled back in the late 60s and continue the mission, finish the 5 years, return the Enterprise to the Earth, and craft a story to explain why Kirk took a desk job? I mean, everybody knows how much Captain Kirk loves his ship, right? So what the heck would make him give up his ship and take an office position? And why did Spock go back to Vulcan? What was the motivation? Why did the characters do what they did? So that's what we've done, you guys. We've completely filled that gap beautifully between the cancellation of the original series and just about a month ago, we released our finale, our 2-part finale episodes, I should say, and it completes the mission perfectly and leaves everything where it was when the motion picture started. Tomorrow, we're going to watch episode 9, which was an awesome episode, like I said, with Elizabeth Maxwell. And does anybody in here did anyone ever watch Star Trek Next Generation? Remember Q? John Delancey, who played Q, is the guest star in episode 9 as well. So I would love all of you to join us tomorrow. You can watch it on your laptop at home, but it's not quite as cool as seeing it in a big room with big sound on a big screen with a lot of fun people. So tomorrow at noon, consider yourselves officially invited, okay? Besides directing Ginny Tyson, I'm working on a lot of new stuff. There are several new shows that I'm a part of. I'm so excited about. I'm not even allowed to talk about some of them yet, but I think I'm allowed to talk at least about. Somebody came up to me today and said, "I'm so excited that you're in Bungo Stray Dogs," and I'm like, "Yes." So I guess if you know about it, I guess it's public knowledge then. So that is among 5 or 6 other shows that I'm working on that I'm very excited about. So those will all be coming out in the weeks and months ahead. But I do want to talk with you guys about anything that's on your mind. So if you've got it, oh, that's right. I promised, didn't I? First question. What is your question, my dear?
I am the exact same height as Edward in the start of the series.
No way. Are you 4'11 and a half? You're like, you knew that. That's weird. You're amazing. You are adorbs.
Thank you for giving those Ezras because they're helpful to have on.
Yes, it's always nice to pull one out when somebody throws down about your height, right?
There's a lot of short jokes that we use to help people over here.
Really? Like the clown too? Oh, look at you.
You're saying something, I could hear you over how tall I am.
What are you guys, like from a desert tribe of giants or something? What is, look at you. You guys are gargantuan.
Funny thing is, I'm playing a half elf today, and she's cosplaying a gnome, so the height difference actually works.
Oh, that's beautiful. I was gonna say, if you're a half elf, she's a quarter elf. Ooh, see what just happened there? Oh, Ben! Yes.
If you could live in the universe or among the characters you played, what character universe would you pick?
You know what? I've been asked that question before, and it's kind of tough because all universes have their goods and their bads, right? I think one of the most beautiful universes that I of any show that I was ever in was Tsubasa Chronicle. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful world, and that would be a lot of fun to be a part of. But you know, it's got its downside too. And Amestris was pretty awesome. I kind of liked a world where, you know, alchemy and all that kind of thing existed as well. Yeah, but I usually go with Tsubasa. So that's what I'm going to say. Yes, sir. Hey, anybody that throws up the Vulcan sign gets. Yes, sir.
Being a fan of a lot of your work, Vic, I have to ask this one question. Could I do the Pipsqueak Midget shout for you?
I would be honored. In fact, I will even set you up, okay? I'm gonna give you the line and then you let it rip, okay?
Hey, who's that little short kid over there?
Are you calling a Pipsqueak Midget? Yes! Thank you. That's a good way to start 2018, am I right? Yes, come here. What is your question, my dear?
So who are you in Bungo Stray Dogs?
Oh, what is his name? He's so cool. Rempo. Oh my gosh, I love him so much. He's so weird. And he's so like cocky and stuff. I'm like, oh, he is so fun. Well, we've already done a lot of it, and it's really been a blast.
That was like half my question. My other actual question was, I just finished watching Soul Eater like night before last. First time I've ever watched it. Loved your portrayal of Spirit. But I was actually wondering because Spirit and Tamaki both are dads in one way or another. And I wanted to know what they would think of each other.
Oh my gosh. You know what I've often said? Oh my gosh, I can't believe you even brought that up. They're both dads in by the most general definition of the word, I think. But you know what I've often said? I've often said that it's kind of like, hi. I've often said that it's kind of like Spirit is the sad, grown-up version of Tamaki. You know, like when Spirit was in high school, he was a player. You know what I mean? Like he was Tamaki. He's like, oh, hello. My, aren't you a beautiful princess? Right? And the girls, and then he grew up. And he's like, hello. Aren't you, you're beautiful. Let's go make out behind. Right? And the girls are like, stranger danger! Right? So it's like he tried using the same, you know what I mean? He tried using the same game that he used in high school, and he just turned out to be this kind of sad, lonely guy. But I love him. Anybody that ever has me sign a Soul Eater thing, I always write, Daddy. Yes, sir.
So I got into Star Trek because of you. So one of my favorite episodes is the first episode of season 2, and I want to know, what was your favorite episode on Star Trek?
Which one was that?
It was the episode where Spock had to go back to his home planet for like
Amok Time. Am I a nerd or what? You see it? That's all I need. Half a sentence, and I'll tell you the name of the episode. That's a great choice too. That was a great episode.
It's my favorite episode.
Sure. Because you got to see Captain Kirk's bare chest, right? It's like, no, but now that you mention it.
No, my favorite episode is that, for those who don't know, there was a sort of confliction that happened in the culture. So Kirk and Spock kind of had to quote-unquote fight to the death. And what happens is that he turns out that Kirk actually just got passed out, and when Spock actually saw Kirk alive, he had this like out-of-character moment, was like, Jim! And he went this.
Yes, that was one of my favorites too. Spock thought he had killed Kirk. And, sorry, spoiler alert. Yeah, like you're gonna go home and watch it, okay. But he thought he had killed Kirk, and so in the very last scene, he's talking to Dr. McCoy, he's like, look, I've set a course for Starbase Command, and when we get back, I'm gonna turn myself in because there's no excuse for what I've done, and I'm gonna face the consequences. I killed my captain, and I killed my friend. And he's standing there and talking to McCoy. And as he's talking, Kirk walks up behind him. And then he turns around and says, Jim! And he has this big emotional response, which is completely out of his character. And that was a great episode. My favorite episode was one from the 3rd season that not a lot of people remember, actually. It wasn't one of the more popular ones, but it was one of my favorites. It was called Requiem for Methuselah.